Hi, it's time for our proportion and percents workout number 9. Today's problem says that Sylvia likes gummy candy. She bought some and saw that the tag said she paid $5.50 for 2.2 pounds of candy. Use the following ratio tables to find the cost for different amounts of candies. So these are wide open. So you're free to solve however you want. If you want to use, the unit rate method, or if you want to use equivalent ratios. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be using equivalent ratios just for these problems. They make the most sense. So if you're following along with me, that's the method that I'll be doing. So we're going to do pounds of gummy candy. I don't even think you should purchase gummy candy by the pound, but who am I to judge? All right, so we have pounds and we have candy. And then we want to look at the given ratio. So 550 was the cost. So that will go in the money row. I'm just going to write 5.5 for now. And then the 2.2 pounds will go up here because that was the given rate. I'm going to get rid of these decimals right off the bat. And I know that if I have two numbers that have decimals in the tenths place, that if I multiply them both by 10, I get rid of those decimals. So that gives me 22 over 55, which I like a lot better. And if you are paying attention, 22 pounds was our target. And we got it in just one jump, just by multiplying by 10. And really, we didn't do any math. We just have a great understanding of place value. And that's why place value is so important to understand. So the proportion for this one, you would have written the given here, and then your variable would have gone right here where 55 is, because 22 pounds cost $55. So that one was super easy. I think they probably were coaching us, right, to get rid of the decimal. And there's a good reason for that, because we're not going to want to use that decimal if we don't need to. All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says 1 pound and 5 pounds. I see fives right here, so I think I can get to 5 pounds pretty efficiently. So that's what my goal is going to be. And so let's start with same ratio, pounds over money. And that's 2.2 and 5.5. I'm not going to write them because I'm going to tell you that I'm going to jump straight to the 22 and the 55. Now, I know that when I have a number like this, that 22, 55, numbers 66, 77, numbers like that are divisible by 11. Okay. Same way that 20 is divisible by 10 because it has that 0. When both of the numbers are the same in a double digit number, it's divisible by 11. And so if I divide 22 by 11, I get 2. And if I divide 55 by 11, I get 5. I hope I said division on that, but I think y'all know what I mean. So we have taken a ratio that was 2.2 over 5.5, and that is equivalent to 2/5, to 2 to 5, okay? And that's the beauty of ratio tables, that we get to see that. So I'm at 2 and 5. I have to get to 1 pound. So you know what? I'm just going to cut this in half. That gives me 1 pound. Half of 5 is 2.5, and that's a benchmark that you need to know. Just kind of, so there, 1 pound costs $2.50. Okay. And now we want to know 5 pounds. And so I just multiplied 1 times 5 to get to 5. And then I multiplied 2.5 to get to my bottom answer. I also multiplied that by 5. 5 times 2 gives me 10. 5 times 5.5 gives me 250. And so my final answer is 12.5, or $12.50 is the cost for 5 pounds of candy. Okay, and those numbers are very similar, right? Because our rate is 2 pounds for $5, and we basically added a plus 4 pound. So that's why we added 10 to 250. All right, let's keep moving on. Number 3 says, how much candy can you buy for $1.25? So let's put our pounds candy here, and then we have our money here. We have our given ratio of 2.2 over 5.5. I'm just going to write it as 22 over 55, like so. I'm trying to get to $1.25 here. So 55 is obviously way more than I want, but I know that these are both divisible by 11, which gets me to 2 and 5. Remember, my target is 125 in this column. I'm going to half again because I know that gets me to 2.5. And then I'm looking at 2.5 and 1.25. If I have $2.50 and I cut it in half and I keep half and I give my friend half, each one of us is going to get 1.25. Okay, 50 cents gives you 2 quarters, and then the $2 would give you $1 each. So 1.25 is my amount of money that I was looking for. I halved 2.5 to get there, so I'm going to half 1 so I can get half a pound of candy for $1.25. Okay, think how different this proportion would have looked if I was just solving the traditional way. It would have been 2.2 over 5.5 set equal to x over 1.25. So our traditional algorithm to solve this would have been multiplying 2.2 times 1.25 and then dividing by 5.5. All things that y'all are terrible at. Just kidding. No, this is where mistakes happen, right? This is where our mistakes happen. And notice, all we did was divide by 11 and then divide by 2 and divide by 2. Okay, we were just cutting numbers in half to get to our answer of half of a pound. Okay, and so that's why I encourage you, even when you're given this problem. So here I am given this problem. My target number is 1850. They wrote it different than I did. I'm going to flip it and write it the way that I've been writing it, just because that's where my brain is at today. And remember, it doesn't matter because we get the same answer. So I put the 2.2 on top. I just always usually put money on the bottom. I don't know why, just kind of out of habit, I guess. And 5.5. Well, actually, I do know why, and I'll tell you why. Because in if we were going to graph this is your X is always on top and your Y is on bottom, and money is always the Y. That's why. I digress. All right. I'm going to go straight to my 2 to 5 ratio because I just don't want to mess with any of those fractions. I'm headed to 1850. Remember, 1850 is my target number right here. So I'm going to double so I can get to 10 and 4. And I'm going to double again because if I go up to 20, I'm very, very close to 1850. And so I can get 8 pounds of gummy bears for $20. Well, I know that if I take 250 away from this, so 20 minus 250, so let's go ahead and add our 1 and our 2.5 here. When I subtract 2.5 from 20, I actually get 1750, and that gets me to 7. But I needed 1850. So I just need $1 here, right, guys? And so what I did was I went over here and grabbed this puppy, and I'm going to write it in red just to show you. And I have a 10 here, but I want this to be a 1. And so I know I can force it to be a 1 by dividing by 10, putting that decimal there, which means this would also have to be divided by 10 and get a decimal. So when we're talking equivalent ratios, 0.4 over 1 is also equivalent ratio, which means if I need to add this 1 to 17 to get to 18, then I'm going to add 0.4 to 7. And so my final answer is 7.4. So notice a lot of things going on there, but note this would have been 2.2 times 18.5 and then divided by 5.5. It looks like I did more work, but really, guys, I did all of this in my head. And all of this using my understanding of place value. Okay, so I can't stress to you enough to understand each column and when you write a number is worth 10. Okay, it's either worth 10 ones or 10 tens or 10 hundreds. Okay, but when you are dividing by tens, you're actually, just making that number smaller and using place value. All right, have a great day, and I will see y'all next time.